So it's time for another board recap podcast. Thank you, Dr. Smith, for coming in today. We had a board meeting last night, so we're going to break it down today.
Sounds good. So we will enter in our traditional way on the EVSC homepage, go to About Us, and then scroll down to Board of School Trustees. And you may notice something different on.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, if you don't mind, let's talk about that for a second. We had something that I think went very, very well last night.
Yes, so you'll see Town Hall registration form. Right now, it is not available for population,
Mhm.
but it will go live on Friday at noon before each board meeting, and it
Sure.
stays open till I believe Monday at 3.
Yes.
And basically, we just ask that you go to this site and then register. And it really does, I think, provide an opportunity in the town hall format to have that two-way dialogue with the citizens of Vanderbilt County.
And we've heard that actually, and as the board takes in public comment, that's been something that's been lifted numerous times. They'd really like the opportunity to have kind of an engaging conversation with school board members, and I think we created a system that made that happen last night.
You know, I fervently believe that we did. We piloted this actually before the pandemic, and then the pandemic, as we all know, happened. So we were able to return to the town hall format last night. But we do recall in March of 2020 for the first town hall that several patrons said, "I really do like this because, I going to the board meeting and talking at the podium, to everybody is a little intimidating to me." So
Absolutely.
they like the opportunity to actually have a one-on-one with a couple of board members at a time. And I think it is a very, very user-friendly format and one that hopefully we will continue to use because our population enjoys that.
Yeah, and I know I even heard one of our board members spoke to a media outlet last night and said just being able to have that give and take meant something, and being able to tell member of the community, we hear you, we're listening, and asking follow-up questions. I know this particular board member really appreciated that format as well.
Absolutely, and in a way that's not intimidating to anyone.
Sure, sure. So yeah, that'll continue, like you said, each Friday before the board meetings. You can look at that on at noon. Go to our website, and it's a very easy form to submit. And then we keep a record of that, and we do share that with all of the board members. So no matter who you speak with, everyone will get a copy so they can see what items are lifted.
Absolutely. Very good. So now let's go into the actual board meeting, and we will enter that site through our webpage as we have numerous times, but just think that it always helps to
Sure.
uh, return to that familiar
And
way of
that's
entering.
evscschools.com for this and anything pertaining to the school corporation.
So we will click on the May 10th site, and we were able, fortunately, to add good news back into the agenda.
Yes.
So Miss Chelsea, as they call her at Glenwood, was awarded the cause for applause for May. She does a phenomenal job at Glenwood and really is the heartbeat of the school. So one of
And
my
that's what someone lifted in her nomination.
absolutely,
What strong words to say about someone.
this is always one of the favorite things that I get to do, and that's recognize our outstanding employees.
Sure.
You want to take the next one?
Yeah, we had a bus recruitment event. It was on April 30th, and as I said to the board last night, I was so impressed with our recruitment team, just the customer service they had, asking or answering questions. We have another one of these coming up this Friday at Harrison High School, 8 to noon. You can test drive a school bus in a parking lot, albeit not on the streets, with one of our certified trainers. And if you have any interest at all, come on out and do this. You can ask questions, you can test drive that bus. And we did have 15 individuals that applied on the spot last time when we did this.
That's phenomenal. I think it takes away some of the anxiety.
Mhm.
We like to say that it's a part-time job with full-time benefits. So
Absolutely. And lots of flexibility. So it
yes,
really is a job that can apply to a lot of different people.
absolutely. Next up, had 109 high school
Mm.
seniors that went through the opt-in signing day, and this also is a great end of the year activity. This
Yes.
is when we bring area employers together and actually get to celebrate students, as we do when athletes sign for university. But these are individuals in our opt-in program that are going straight to the workforce or into the military. And one of the outstanding things about many of the employers that were there for the opt-in signing ceremony is that they will pay for their employees'
Yes.
college. So just a phenomenal option that our students have.
Well, and we always say that our goal is to set students up for success after that senior year, and this opt-in program definitely does that. It's great. You were there last week too. And it's so exciting to see this taking place.
Yes. And then how about if you address the next one since your wife is a counselor?
Well, we did have two of our schools, both Cedar Hall, which is one of our K-8 schools, and North Junior High, which is a 7th and 8th grade school. And they did receive this designation from ASCA, which is the American School Counseling Association. It's their ramp designation. And really a small number. These two schools joined three other schools in the state of Indiana, 139 total in the nation to receive this. And it really does speak to what they're doing in their individual school counseling programs. Really, really beneficial for those students.
Absolutely. So, congratulations to both Cedar Hall
Yes,
and North Junior
certainly.
High. And then finally, we're pleased that the State Board of Education last week enthusiastically and unanimously approved the EVSC's RAMP program as a locally created pathway, specifically in supply chain for management and logistics. So, we're very, very proud of the RAMP program. We know that it does change lives of our
Mm,
students, and for it to be recognized as one of those locally creative pathways that leads to high school graduation, I think is a testament to the effort of our students and our staff and the leaders of that RAMP program. And another shout out to AmeriQual
mm,
because they're a
definitely.
phenomenal partner.
And anyone who may have seen that state board of education meeting, I mean, one of the state board members who really took the lead in talking about this, to say that he was impressed and praising the ramp program would be an understatement. I mean, he was glowing as far as his praise for this program, what it does for kids.
Absolutely. Once again, RAMP is the only LCP approved in southwestern Indiana and one of only four in the entire state.
Yeah,
So
lots of pride there.
kudos, kudos to those folks.
Hmm.
And now moving on to consent items. Item 2.01 be the consideration of minutes of the April 26th board meeting that was approved. Item 2.02, allowance of payments. Not a real large amount this time. We're grateful for that. Basically, one employee pay, and then the total allowance of payments was $7.2 million. Moving on to item 2.03, consideration to approve the towing contract. We're really blessed to be able to tag along with the Board of Public Safety for their towing contract. And EVSC vehicles are serviced at no charge to the corporation if it's within the city limits. So we're grateful for that. Item 2.04, which is the renewal uh, agreement for ESGI, and that is basically the digital platform that we utilize to manage our dyslexia screening. As you may remember, all students in the state of Indiana are required to undergo dyslexia screening in grades K through 2. And then finally, the last consent item was 2.05, and that was approval to purchase 1,342 iPads for grades K through 2 students.
And I do think it's always important to note we're talking kindergarten through second grade students, and
Yes.
our K1 and 2 students and their teachers utilize technology as much as any of the older students. I mean, it's really amazing how embedded that is in their day-to-day classrooms.
It is, and we are grateful to be able to provide that service to our families.
Definitely.
Item 3.01, personnel recommendations, and folks can go on to the board docs site and click on that and then review any of the personnel recommendations that were approved. Moving on to action. Now, all of these items except for 4.08 were on as information items, so I won't spend a great deal of time on this, but these were approved. 4.01 really did bring the Title I policy up to date with the various statutes, and this did include a revision to parent and family engagement. 4.02. Now, these are Chromebooks that we're going to purchase for our second and third grade students, and about 2,400 of them. 4.03 would be consideration to approve the contract for Teacup Elementary School playground. So we are pleased to be able to upgrade their playground. That's a price tag of $184,000. And finally,
Yes.
4.04. This, I think, is perhaps the longest tenured project that we've had, at least while I've been able to occupy the seat of superintendent. And finally, Bossy Tennis Courts are going to be renovated. They'll have 5 brand new courts, and we're very,
And
very excited about
what
that.
a great addition that will be to their athletic complex.
Absolutely. Long time coming. 4.05, going to install new turf at Wrights High School. 4.06, the food bid was awarded last night, so we are pleased with all of those prices. 4.07, consideration to approve the SMART Center, which is for Trauma Informed Intervention Project. Very excited about this because it will really improve our capacity to deliver trauma focused cognitive behavioral therapy and resource efficient trauma intervention. And it is a very unique program of its kind in the nation, and we are very, very excited to perform or to partner with the School Mental Health Association Research and Training Center, also known as SMART, out of the University of Washington. And then finally, in action item 4.08, as you know, we are, I think, one of only two school corporations in the state. We may be the only one that actually sponsors two charter schools. So we have sponsored Joshua Academy for a number of years, and they were up for renewal. So they have another 5-year agreement, and EVSC is pleased to sponsor the Joshua Academy. They are a separate standalone school. Just want to make certain that the public is aware of that. But in Indiana, all charters require a sponsor. And then the last information or the last item on the board agenda was the information item, which is the consideration to purchase Promethean panels. And so brand new Promethean boards in all of our elementary schools. We have this will then complete this, I think, third iteration. We
Right.
have
And for someone who doesn't know what you mean when you say a Promethean board,
they're interactive boards,
right?
and now they're touch screens. They look like large TV stations that basically bring the computer onto a large
Right.
screen for everyone to see them. Our teachers do a fabulous job of using them. Our students are very accustomed to going up and working problems out or interacting with the class through that technology on the board. So this will finally complete installation of 1,500 units, one in every one of our classrooms. And the elementary schools now will finally get those. The K-8s have them, the middle schools have them, and the high schools have the updated models, and now the elementary schools will receive them.
Well, and I do think it is something for a school district to be able to say that every classroom, and we've been able to say this for many years now, but as you said, this is the newest, latest version for our elementary schools. But to think every single classroom has an interactive whiteboard certainly enhances classroom teaching.
Absolutely.
So, and that really takes us through, Dr. Smith. It wasn't a terribly long meeting last night, kind of a traditional type meeting where you go through the different components of a school board meeting. And as we talked about at the beginning, we had a very good situation at the beginning with our town hall format. So that wraps this up. So we appreciate you coming in and breaking this down for us. We'll do this again in 2 weeks.
My pleasure. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.